ನೀವೇ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ವಾಟರ್ ಇದೆ. Good morning, everyone. Huh? ಹೊರೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್.
Yes, sir. Kelstara.
Okay, we'll cover some important topics from current affairs. Okay, from last week and also of yesterday. So one of the most important topics that we have to start with is Union Cabinet has approved the recognition of 5 languages as classical languages. ಕೇಳಿದಿರಾ? Have you followed this news? Union Cabinet has approved recognition of 5 more languages as classical languages. So currently, how many languages are there in the classical list? ಎಷ್ಟಿದಾವೆ? 6, right? Currently 6 languages are classical languages. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ addition ಆಗಿ 5 more languages ನ add ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Okay, so that has been approved by Union Cabinet already, right? So which are those 5 languages? Which are those 5 languages? Yeah. First tell me earlier classical languages. ಹಳೇದು ಹೇಳಿ. First one was ಮೊದಲನೇ classical language ಯಾವುದು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ? Tamil, which was designated in 2004. Tamil is the first classical language in India. Okay, designate ಮಾಡಿರೋದು. Classical language of India. ಎರಡನೇದು Sanskrit. That is in 2005. 2005 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Okay. So other languages Telugu and Kannada both were designated as classical languages in the year of 2008. So ಇನ್ನ ಎರಡು ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಯಾವುದು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು? ಮಲಯಾಳಂ, ರೈಟ್? ಮಲಯಾಳಂ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು 2013 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿಕ್ಸ್ತ್ ಒನ್ ಒಡಿಯಾ. This was 2014. Now in 2024, they're adding are you following me? Already 6 language classical language ಇದ್ವು, ಇವಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 5 ಹೊಸ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಹೇಳಿ? ಇವಾಗ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು ಮರಾಠಿ, ಪಾಲಿ, ಪ್ರಾಕೃತ್, ಅಸ್ಸಾಮೀಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ and Bengali, right? Bengali. So these are the new 5 languages. Marathi, Pali, Prakrit, Assamese and Bengali. So these are new additions to the list of classical languages. You should remember this exact. ಯಾವ್ದು ಮರಿಬಾರ್ದು. Okay, which are they? ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಮರಾಠಿ, ಪಾಲಿ, ಪ್ರಾಕೃತ್, ಅಸ್ಸಾಮೀಸ್ and Bengali. So this ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಕಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಡೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು 2004 ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ವಿತ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ತಮಿಳ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಕಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಕಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಆದ್ವಿ ಇವಾಗ? 11. Earlier 5 plus earlier 6 and now 5. So who designates it? ಯಾರು ಡೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇದನ್ನ? Right now it's approved by cabinet, right? But designation ಮಾಡೋದು Ministry of Culture, right? Ministry of Culture. It is designated by Ministry of Culture. Okay. So more importantly, on the language na classical language ಅಂತ designate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ there are certain criteria, right? So based on those criteria, the Ministry of Culture can declare any language as classical language. So those criteria are also important for exam. They will ask that. Okay. Based on what criteria, right? Now these 5 languages have been added. So tell me, ಏನೇನಿರ್ಬೋದು ನೆನಪಿದ್ಯಾ? So criteria. There are certain criteria to designate any language as classical language. ಮೊದಲನೇದು script, not exactly the script. ಇವಾಗ ಮರಾಠಿ ಇದೆ. ಮರಾಠಿ does it has Marathi script? Does it have Marathi script? ಮರಾಠಿಗೆ ಮರಾಠಿ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಮರಾಠಿ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರಲ್ವಾ ಇವಾಗ? ಇಲ್ಲ, right? So script is not the thing. It should be high antiquity. Antiquity means that should be old language which should have recorded history of that language. We should have recorded text and history of that language. So first criterion would be high antiquity. High antiquity. So please focus on this. It's very important. They might ask you because 5 languages have been added and its art and culture part is favorite for examiners. Okay. High antiquity. That means the early texts and recorded history should be spanning 1500 to 2000 years. Early texts and right on this early text and recorded history should be spanning 1500 to 2000 years. That old this should be. Okay. For example, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿರೋ languages check ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಮರಾಠಿ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ add ಮಾಡೋದು ಮರಾಠಿ, ಪಾಲಿ, ಪ್ರಾಕೃತ್, Assamese and Bengali. Okay. For example, you take Pali and Prakrit. They are very old, right? Prakrit and Pali, they are as old as the times of Buddhism and Jainism, right? Prakrit is the language used by Jains and Pali is the language used by Pali is a type of variant of actually type Prakrit. Okay, I will tell you, we will discuss about that. First, consider that this Pali, Prakrit, even Marathi, okay, is old, which should have early text and recorded history spanning 1500 to 12 years. Next, second one is it should have ancient literature. Second criterion is ancient literature. Ancient literature. So, I mean, this language should possess what? A body of ancient literature or text, which are considered valuable heritage by generations. Okay. Which are considered as valuable heritage by generations. So this is the second criterion. So third one would be presence of an originally literary tradition. I mean, it should be the literary tradition should be what? Original. It should not have been borrowed from some other language, some other community of languages. So write down the third one should be what? Presence of an original presence of an original literary tradition. Original literary tradition and not borrowed from not borrowed from another community of languages. So originality ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, correct? Yeah. Then another criterion is right on the classical language literature being distinct from modern. The classical language, the original language, old, the classical language should be distinct. Distinct means different. Okay. Distinct from modern. So classical language should be distinct from modern. So next one question is, can there be discontinuity between classical language and its later form? ಹಳೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಕಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಲೇಟರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಟಿ ಇರಬಹುದಾ? Can there be discontinuity? Can there be any difference? As I already told you, classical language should be distinct from modern, right? So earlier, the original language ಏನಿದೆ, later on it would be evolved in different variants, right? So there can be discontinuity between the classical language and all the variants which develop later. So the discontinuity is also allowed, even if there is discontinuity from classical language and its modern offshoots, later variants, then also it is allowed to be classified as classical language. So continue writing here. There can be discontinuity between classical language and its later forms. There can be discontinuity between classical language and its later forms. I think in some exam they have focused on this exact statement. There can be discontinuity between classical language and its later forms. So what are the benefits of so ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಕಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಡೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ? Do you know anything? Okay, write down one or two important points. The benefits of designating any language as classical language. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲನೇದೇನಂದ್ರೆ, 2 international awards are there which are awarded to the scholars who have done extensive research, teaching and promotion in these classical languages. Classical language ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ international awards ಗಳು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, so in given by president actually. Okay, in India only. So those awards are given only to those scholars of those languages which have been designated as classical languages. Okay, so right on ಮೊದಲನೇ benefit ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2 international awards. Benefits of classifying any language as classical language. So first one was 2 international awards. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the one is called Maharshi Badrayan Saman Award. Maharshi, those awards, want to know? Maharshi Badrayan Saman Award. Another one is Presidential Award of Certificate of Honor. Presidential Award for of Certificate of Honor. Both of these are given by President. And another benefit would be in central universities, In central universities, UGC, that's University Grants Commission, can create some extra separate professional chairs uh, under these central universities for these classical languages. So in central universities, UGC can set up separate chairs. Okay, so right on can create UGC can create professional chairs. Professional chairs in central universities. In central universities and research institutions. And research institutions. Central university research institutions focus on classical languages. Okay. And already there is one center of excellence already established ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ Central Institute of Indian Languages in Mysore. So in Mysore we have an institution called Central Institute of Indian Languages. ಆ institution ಅಲ್ಲಿ already government has established Center of Excellence for studies in classical languages for further research and development in classical languages. There is already one Center of Excellence. So now all the ಹೊಸ classical language add ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ ಮುಂದೆ extensive research ಆಗುತ್ತೆ under the same institute. So you can already the government has established, you can write down, the government has established Center of Excellence, Center of Excellence, Center of Excellence for studies in classical languages. For studies in classical languages. Center of Excellence for studies in classical languages. So where is this Center of Excellence has been established? Established ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Yeah, Central Institute of Indian Languages, CIIL. CIIL, Central Institute of Indian Languages. So there is one Central Institute of Indian Languages located in Mysore. Actually, there is separate distinct Center of Excellence there. That's main aim is to promote and do further research on classical languages. Okay. Okay, these are some of the benefits, right? So have you understood these five? So let me repeat this news. So already classical language only we have 6 classical languages. First one was Tamil language. Okay. First designate ಆಗಿರೋದು. Second Sanskrit and Telugu, Kannada, and then Malayalam, Odia. And these 5 are is added now in 2024. Right. So Marathi, Pali, Prakrit, Assamese, and Bengali. Now that criteria for designating any languages, classical languages are high antiquity. Okay, should have literary tradition of these many years, and it should be ancient literature and should carry that heritage from then on, and it should be original literature, original literary tradition. It should follow. It should not be borrowed from any other language. Understanding this? So not intavella point at least heading other and pitkolli. Okay. And classical language is distinct from should be distinct from modern, and there can be discontinuity. Okay, there can be discontinuity between old classical language and its modern offshoots. Okay, so there are 11 classical languages as of now. Yeah, then we have understood the benefits also. In the benefits, you understood that 2 international awards. So you can try remembering these awards. Maharishi Badrayan Samman Award and another Presidential Award for Certificate of Honor. And UGC can set up chairs, professional chairs in central universities and research institutions. And there will be further extensive study will be done through this Center of Excellence for Studies in Classical Languages situated in Central Institute of Indian Language, Mysore. Are you clear with this? So talking about these languages, Marathi and all, I'll ask you simple questions. Marathi, uh, first, started developing in Satavahana dynasty as Maharashtra Prakrit. So Marathi was basically a variant of Prakrit. Okay. So Prakrit anta bandaga, Prakrit, you can study in basics. I'm just giving you like brief, uh, small understanding of what are these languages, especially Prakrit and Pali. Okay. So they are very old, right? So they are considered to be, evolutes of Sanskrit. Sanskrit in the Vandirodu. But Sanskrit was like elite class language ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು, like correct ಅಲ್ವಾ? So spoken by Brahmins, and it's a language of Vedas, right? But Prakrit was language of common people. Prakrit was what? Language of common people. So it was very easy to be utilized by general public, right? Um, so there are many variants to Prakrit. You can see Ardha Magadhi ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಿರಾ? Have you heard Ardha Magadhi, which was the official language of what? Magadhi was the official language of Mauryan court, and there was Ardha Magadhi, and there's Shaura Sheni. So these are all variants of what? Prakrit only. Magadhi, Ardha Magadhi, Shaura Sheni. So these were all what? Ancient variants of Prakrit only, right? And even Pali was also variant of Prakrit. Prakrit ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಬ್ರಾಡರ್ ಆಗಿ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಪ್ರಾಕೃತ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ it's not a single language, it's a group. It's a group of languages commonly spoken by general populace in different parts of India. So like there are variants you will see. Magadhi was also what? Prakrit. Ardha Magadhi is also Prakrit. Shaurasani, Pali. So these are, so there was also Maharashtra Prakrit. Maharashtra Prakrit. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸೊ ಮರಾಠಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಇವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಪ್ರಾಕೃತ ಇಂದ. Okay, so that was developed during Satavahana dynasty. Yeah, it's not borrowing. That's how it is evolved. It has evolved. It's not borrowing. Yeah, it's evolution. That language has evolved in that way. But remember, Marathi does not have its own script. Marathi script antilla. It is written in Devanagari script as of now. Earlier, it used to be written in Modi script. Marathi. Marathi script, in case if they ask you, Marathi is written in what? Devanagari script. Like Kannada, we have our own script, right? Kannada script like that. Marathi script antilla. It is written in Devanagari script. Earlier not so old, but century 100 200 years ago, Marathi was written in Modi script. Modi script earlier. And Buddhist three Pitakas gota, Vinay Pitaka, ಯಾವ್ದದು? Sutta Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka. So there are three Pitakas of Buddhism. So all of those are written in which language? Which language? Exact ಹೇಳಿ. Huh? Pali, that's why it's famous. Currently, ಇವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ Pali ಅಂತ ತಕ್ಷಣ you should remember one literature, that is Buddhist literature. That's Pali. All Buddhist literature, like original canonical Buddhist literature ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So all of that is written in which language? Pali. Okay. And Jain literature, ಪ್ರಾಕೃತ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಧ ಮಗಧಿ ಅಂತಿದೆ. ಅರ್ಧ ಮಗಧಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಇವಾಗ್ಲೇ. So that Ardha Magadhi is the language of Jains. I mean, Jain canonical literature. Remember it. ನೆನಪಿರುತ್ತಾ ಅದು? And Magadhi is also Prakrit. That's the official language of Mauryan art, Mauryan court. Mauryan court ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ official language ಯಾವುದು? ಮಗಧಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನೀವು ಅಶೋಕನ್ ಪಿಲ್ಲರ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಬಹುದು, ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರಾಕೃತ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಕೃತ್ ಅದೇ ಓನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಖರೋಸ್ತಿ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್, ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಿ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್, ರೈಟ್? ಓಕೆ, so yeah, after this, the second news I'm taking up today is golden langur. That was in news. A species called golden langur is in news for some reason. Okay, so they'll keep asking in different exams. They're asking UPSC, especially it's focusing on species. So golden langur ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, you should know that golden langur is endemic to some parts of India. Distribution, where their distribution mainly? Golden langur ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? Can I show image? Golden langur ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು? ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಘಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾವ ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಲಂಗೂರು. ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಲಂಗೂರ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಲಂಗೂರ್. ನೋಡಿದೀನಿ ಅನ್ಬೇಡಿ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿರಲ್ಲ, ಇದೇ ನೋಡಿರಲ್ಲ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಸೊ ಮಂಕಿ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ. ಕಲರ್ ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ? ಫರ್ ಕಲರ್ ಅದು ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ? ಹೇರ್ ಕಲರ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಕಲರ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಬಟ್ ಒಂದ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಕಲರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಸೀಸನ್ಸ್ ತಕ್ಕಂಗೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಲಂಗೂರ್, they can ask you few points on this. One, though, its color can change according to season, number one. And main ಆಗಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎಂಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್. ಎಂಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಂಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ರೀಜನ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎಂಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಟು ಫ್ಯೂ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್: ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಅಸ್ಸಾಂ ಅಂಡ್ ಭೂತಾನ್. ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಭೂತಾನ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ. ಭೂತಾನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಬಾರ್ಡರ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅಸ್ಸಾಂ ರೀಜನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಬೋರಿಯಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ? ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಬೋರಿಯಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಬೋರಿಯಲ್? ಆರ್ಬೋರಿಯಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಆರ್ಬೋರಿಯಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಅನಿಮಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಸರ್ವೈವ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಟ್ರೀಸ್. Such animals are called arboreal. So is it arboreal? Okay, is it herbivore or carnivore? Herbivore. It feeds on the leaves of plants. Okay, so distributionally they are found in the foothills of Himalaya, specifically western Assam and neighboring Western Assam and Bhutan. So it's IUCN status ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, IUCN endangered status ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, threatened status ಏನಾದ್ರು, threatened species ಅಥವಾ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ? IUCN status should be endangered species. Remember, it's endangered species. It is endangered species. And sites ಅಲ್ಲಿ appendix 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. Sites, CITES, sites classification ಅಲ್ಲಿ it's belong to appendix 1. So there is one wildlife sanctuary which is famous for this golden langur is Chakrashila Wildlife Sanctuary. Remember, Chakrashila. Where is it? Chakrashila ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ಬೋದು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ? ಹಾ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಲಂಗೂರ್ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಫಾರ್ this wildlife sanctuary ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಚಕ್ರಶೀಲ wildlife sanctuary famous for or home for golden langur is located in which state ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಸ್ಸಾಂ, ಅರುಣಾಚಲ್ ಪ್ರದೇಶ್, ಮೇಘಾಲಯ ಅಂಡ್ ತ್ರಿಪುರ. Assam. Golden langur is found only in Assam in India. Assam and Bhutan border ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Okay. And this Manas National Sanctuary. National Park, sorry. Manas National Park. ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇದು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ರೈಟ್. Okay. Have you understood this golden langur? One more point. Adult males are typically larger than females. That another point you can write down about this. Other point ಬರ್ದಿದಾರಲ್ಲ, they have distinct this golden orange coat color. Okay. And also they season takkange they change color, right? The color varies slightly according to seasons. The remaining things, they have black face and all. And adult males are typically larger than females. They're arboreal species, right? And they live in social groups always. So yeah, so this is all. And they're endemic to this foothills of Himalaya, mainly in Bhutan and in India, Assam, Western Assam, specifically Western Assam. And this Chakrashila Wildlife Sanctuary, IUCN status is endangered. Okay. So next news is about this some island, a special island in Indian Ocean called Chagos Island, Chagos Archipelago. It's a group of islands. Kelidira Chagos anta. So the news is that this used to be British Indian Ocean Territory, BIOT anta karitare. Indian Ocean ಅಲ್ಲಿ British territory. Okay, it's like colonization ಅಲ್ವಾ. colonization time ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಐಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ನ ಯಾರು ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು? ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅವರು. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಅದು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೊ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ UK ಅದು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾರಿಷಿಯಸ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ an agreement has been reached, historical political agreement has been reached, where the Chagos Islands are being transferred to Mauritius. Okay. So Mauritius is also island and Chagos is also island. So where are they located? In Indian Ocean. So we can do some map work. Or else let us go through all the islands of major islands of Indian Ocean. Okay. Yeah. So these are some of the islands. Not all islands here have been given, but nodi. Just ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ನೋಡಿ. Just check this. Chagos Island, Maldives south ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಸೊ ಸೌತ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಲ್ಡೀವ್ಸ್. ಮಾಲ್ಡೀವ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಮಾಲ್ಡೀವ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? ಮಾಲ್ಡೀವ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ Maldives Islands, south of Maldives Islands we have Chagos Islands. ಅಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಐಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಡಯಾಗೋ ಗಾರ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ಯುಕೆದು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ USA ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅ ಬೇಸ್ ದೇರ್, USA ನೇವಲ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಯಾಗೋ ಗಾರ್ಸಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಔಟ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟ್, ಏನಾಯ್ತು? Okay, if you have internet, you can search these islands. Check Mauritius also, Mauritius and Reunion Islands. Then check for internet ಇದ್ರೆ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ. ಸೆಸೆಲ್ಸ್, ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
Yes, sir.
So what is the news? Tell me. News ಏನಿದೆ? ಈ ಚಾಗೋಸ್ ಐಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ನ, Chagos Islands were all these days were colonies of which country? UK. So now they are being transferred to which country? ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ UK ಅವರು? Mauritius. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಸೊ ಚಾಗೋಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಯಾಗೋ ಗಾರ್ಸಿಯಾ ನೆನಪಿರುತ್ತಾ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ USA has a base, naval base. Okay. So regarding this Chagos archipelago, this is island group which is located like south of Maldives, around 500 kilometers from Maldives, in Indian Ocean region, right? So it was first up to 18th century islands ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, it was uninhabited. But first ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಕಾಲನಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಅವರು. Later on French ಇಂದ it came down to British. Okay, so then it became British Indian Ocean Territory. Okay, British Indian Ocean Territory. So yeah, thereon it was under control of British, and recently that is being transferred to Mauritius, right? And there are many such islands which are earlier Chagos Islands ತರ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ islands ಗಳು ಕೂಡ, ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು islands ಗಳು UK ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇದ್ವು. UK has been transferring all those islands to different countries, like Seychelles ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಂಟ್ರಿ, ಒಂದು ಐಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಂಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಶೋನ್ ಯು, ನೋಡಿದ್ರ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ್ಲೇ ಸೆಷಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತು. ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಸೆಷಲ್ಸ್? ದಿಸ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಡಗಾಸ್ಕರ್, right? Yeah. So there are many such islands, like Assumption Island ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ, Reunion Island ಇದೆ. So you can go through that mapping. Just a second, I am just trying to connect back. Okay, it is taking some time. Let me ಹಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಲ್ವಾ, ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Yeah, so let's not waste time. We can talk about something else also. So
Sir,
there is
ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಮಾರಿಷಿಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದು ಜನ ಔಷಧಿ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ. ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಜನೌಷಧಿ ಕೇಂದ್ರ.
okay, ಜನೌಷಧಿ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಯುಷ್ಮಾನ್ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಜನ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಯೋಜನಾ.
ಹಾ, ಇನ್ ಮಾರಿಷಿಯಸ್.
Okay, okay. In Mauritius. Okay, I didn't know that. When it was, ಯಾವಾಗ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ?
ಸರ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಫೇರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದು, ಲೈಕ್ ಜುಲೈ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
Okay, this year only, right?
ಹಾ.
Okay, okay, fine. Yeah, you can remember that also. India's first overseas Janaushadhi Kendra inaugurated in Mauritius. Yeah, fine. Thank you. Yeah, we can talk about another important news. Recently, what happened is this BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards. Okay, so it has created a code called National Agriculture Code. In National Building Code anta kuda ide alva. So like standard protocol that should be followed building construction ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ತರ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಕೋಡ್ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್. ಕೋಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಟಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಲೈಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋ ತರ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಲೈಕ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಸೀಸನ್ಗೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಹೌ ಟು ಚೆಕ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲಿಟಿ, ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಅಂಡ್ ಸೋವಿಂಗ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅಂಡ್ ಇವನ್ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಇರಬೇಕು, ರೈಟ್? ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್, ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಒಂದು ಕೋಡ್ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Okay, so this code will be helpful for our farmers, right? So that they can, if they follow the standard codes, then definitely it's going to benefit our farmers. It will increase the productivity and it will increase the quality of the quality of our products. Correct, Alva? So this code is being developed by whom? ಯಾರು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿ? ಬ್ಯೂರೋ ಆಫ್ Indian Standards. Okay, so you can write down Bureau of Indian Standards, BIS. Bureau of Indian Standards, BIS, is has been developing what? National ಏನದು ಹೇಳಿ, ಏನ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ? Some code. Which code? Come on. National Agriculture Code. ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ವಾ ಅಥವಾ ಕೇಳಿಸಿಲ್ವಾ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಹೇಳಿರೋದು? National Agriculture Code. National Agriculture Code. So BIS is developing National Agriculture Code. So simple code ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಬಿಡಿ. Code ಅಂದ್ರೆ it contains all the general principles and all the standard processes that the farmers can follow in order to improve the quality of their products, right? Okay, so you can write on it will have actually two parts. First will contain general principles for all crops, and specifically second code ಅಲ್ಲಿ they are mentioning specific, they are preparing separate code for paddy, wheat, oilseeds and pulses. Okay, ಈ ಕೋಡ್ಸ್, ಈ 4 ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೋಡ್ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಜನರಲ್ ಕೋಡ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಇಟ್, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ these are like standard agriculture practices. Codes are nothing but we can write down. There are two types of codes being developed. Codes, two types. Short
ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಶೇರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ.
screen share ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So continue writing two types of codes. So number one, first type of code contain what? Contain general principles for all crops. General principles for all crops. First code, okay. Second, deal with crop specific standards. Crop specific standards for paddy, wheat, oilseeds and pulses. Paddy, wheat, oilseeds and pulses.
The second one repeat ಮಾಡಿ sir.
Second one, deal with crop specific standards. Crop specific standards for paddy. There is some issue. Can you try that? If I write here like this, online students, can you see the board? Or would it be fine? Because as only 10 minutes has been left, and ಅದು setting ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲ it will go 10 minutes. Online students,
ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಹೌದಾ? So camera adjustment, right? Otherwise clarity is fine, right?
Yes sir.
No. Okay. So there are two types of codes, right? So first one and second one This is for general principle for all crops. Okay. General principles for all crops. The second code contains specifically for rice, paddy, that's rice. Okay. Wheat, pulses, and oilseeds. Have understood this concept of agriculture code? Huh? So you can write on one line what exactly it covers. I mean, it covers agricultural processes. It covers agriculture processes and post harvest operations. Post harvest operations. Post harvest operations like crop selection, sowing, land preparation, storage, agriculture marketing, etc. ಸೊ ಮೇನ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೋಡ್ ಇಂದ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? Because they have standard code now. If they follow it, the crop quality will be definitely good. Correct? So you can write an objective. The main objective is to create comprehensive guide for to create a comprehensive guide. These code can act like guide, right? Comprehensive guide for farming community. And helps in decision making.
Sir, what is the main aim of this course?
I'm telling you, right? The code will help farmers to decide their decisions. Which helps the farmers to make effective decisions in all the stages of this cultivation of crops and harvesting and marketing. ಒಂದು ಗೈಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಷ್ಟೇ, ಯಾವ ತರ ನೀವು ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಅವ್ರ ಅಗ್ರೋ ಕ್ಲೈಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಜೋನ್ಸ್ ತಕ್ಕಂಗೆ ಹೌ ಟು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? And how to prepare the land, right? And which crop to be selected in which season based on what conditions, based on what weather conditions. So ಈ ತರ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಗೈಡ್ ತರ. ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ನೀವು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ, ಆ ತರ it will just tell the farming communities how exactly to be selected. I mean, how exactly to select the type of crop to be grown and how exactly to grow it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so mainly advantage anta bandraga you can write many things, right? Quality of the products improve agutte, correct? So that will lead to the income rise for the farmers and export standards kuda increase agutte, right? So that's one of the lacune, right? ನಮ್ಮ ಅಗ್ರೋ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ such standard if the farmers follow, definitely crop quality will improve, right? And it's like educating farmers, right? Yeah, have you understood? It's like standard code, like a manual. ಯಾರು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ? ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾರು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ? Bureau of Indian Standards. So what is this? Is it a statutory body or what? Executive body? What is it? Huh? What is this? BIS? Executive body, na? It's a statutory body established under an act of BIS Act and 2016. So you can write on a small one line. It's BIS is what? Established under BIS Act of which year? 2016. So which under which ministry? ಯಾವ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇದು? Tell me. ಹಾ ಇವಾಗ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಕೋಡ್ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಹಾ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಸೊ ಈ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಬರೀ ಒಂದ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಹಾಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕೇಳಿದಾರಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಯಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ? BIS. ಅವಾಗ ಯಾವ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಒಂದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ, ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಇಟ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಟು ಅಸೆಸ್ ದ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಆರ್ process, right? Standard ಕೊಡೋದು ಇದ್ರ ಕೆಲಸ. Okay, so it should come under which ministry then? Ministry of Consumer Affairs. Okay, so it should come under Ministry of Corporate Affairs ಇಲ್ಲ, Consumer Affairs. Consumer Affairs. Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. Complete ministry ಹೆಸರು Food and public distribution. So what is its main responsibility? BIS the main responsibility, you know? It is responsible for, write down this, standardization, marking and quality certification. Its main responsibilities are standardization, marking and quality certification of goods. Marking and quality certifications. So like giving ISI marks, ISI mark ಕೇಳಿದಿರಲ್ವಾ? So ಅಂತ you can write on if you for your understanding. Can like it gives this ISI marks, Indian Standards Institute ISI andre ISI mark and hallmark HALLMARK ISI mark and hallmark for gold and silver products.
Yes.
So also ಇನ್ನೊಂದು eco friendly products eco mark ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. You can remember that also. Eco friendly product eco mark. So ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ in case eco mark ಯಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ you should know that that's also given by who? ಯಾರು? BIS. ISI mark, hallmark and eco mark.
ISO.
Huh?
ISO.
ISO is what? That's international standard, international standard organization, international standardization organization ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ISO ಅಂದ್ರೆ. ISO is collection of many such organizations like BIS. So BIS is part of ISO. So ISO ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ you can write on one line about ISO also. International what? Standardization organization. International standardization organization. ISO is what? It's intergovernmental, sorry, non-governmental international organization. ISO is what? Non-governmental international organization with 167 national standard bodies, with 167 national standard bodies. One system national standard bodies. So now we can write on this BIS is part of this international collaboration. Okay. Okay, what are the things that we have discussed? We have talked about classical languages, right? Details. Nanpidiya classical languages though. Then Golden Langur we have discussed. National Agriculture Code and Chagos Island. Chagos Island is in which ocean? Indian Ocean, south of Maldives. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮನೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಓಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಓಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ. ಸೊ ಮ್ಯಾಡಗಸ್ಕರ್ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಇರುವಂತ ಐಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ನೋಡಿ. ಅಜಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಐಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಸೆಸೆಲ್ಸ್, ಮಾರಿಷಿಯಸ್, ರಿಯೂನಿಯನ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡಯಾಗೋ ಗಾರ್ಸಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಡಯಾಗೋ ಗಾರ್ಸಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಚಾಗೋಸ್ ಆರ್ಕಿಪೆಲಾಗೋ. ಆರ್ಕಿಪೆಲಾಗೋ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ a group of islands, and Diego Garcia is also in news because USA naval base ಇದೆ, so it's important for many reasons. Yeah, there's one more last small agi ಒಂದು scheme ಇದೆ, ನಮಸ್ತೆ scheme ಅಂತ, that was in news. What is the name of that scheme? Namaste scheme anta. So there was one report which was telling that this practice of manual scavenging which has been already banned. Manual scavenging ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾವೆಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ಸೀವೇಜಸ್ ನ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೀವರ್ ನ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಆಗಿ, ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾವೆಂಜಿಂಗ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಈ ಸೆಪ್ಟಿಕ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ they're using manually. Traditionally ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುವಲಿ some sections of the society belong to certain caste, they are practicing that septic cleaning work and all, correct? So we can say sewer cleaning anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, right? So that practice is banned in India. Prohibition of employment as manual scavengers ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ 2013 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So according to that, this manual scavenging is completely banned in India, correct? So mechanized cleaning of sewers is allowed, but manual scavenging is these manual practices are disallowed or banned. Okay, so but ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾವೆಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಏನ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಈ ಸಿವರ್ ಕ್ಲೀನಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಕ್, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 98% ಆಫ್ ದೋಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಟು ಐದರ್ SCs or STs or OBCs. Okay, so 98% are belonging to this backward classes of SC, STs and other backward classes. Understand this? So this was the report, and in the same report there was a talk about this scheme called Namaste scheme anta, National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem. What is the scheme? You can have a brief discussion of it, in case if they ask you Namaste scheme. News alli bardina. What is this? Full form ಏನು ಬರೀತೀರಾ? National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem. National Scheme for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem. So it was launched in 2022. So ಹೊಸ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. 2022 ಲಾಂಚ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? And it is a central sector scheme. You know that central sector scheme ಅಂದ್ರೆ completely 100% funded by central sector scheme. 100% funded by central government itself. Okay, so yeah, and one more thing. What it could be related to National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem. So manual scavenging ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೀವರ್ ಸೆಪ್ಟಿಕ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ನ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುವಲಿ ಜನರನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ದೋಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಫೋಕಸಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಮೆಕನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೆಕನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಲೀನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮಷಿನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? So that this scheme mainly promotes mechanized sanitation, mechanized cleaning of the sewers. Clear?
ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದಕ್ಕ ಏನ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್?
ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿ?
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ಅದು ಹೆಸರಿಟ್ಟ ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಅಂತ?
ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೆಕನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಮೆಕನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾನಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅದೇ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಷಿನ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಜನರನ್ನ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಡೆತ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ.
Yes, sir.
ಈ ಸೆಪ್ಟಿಕ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಸೋಕ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದ್ ಜನ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಡೆತ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಆಸ್ಫಿಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿ. ಅದು ಇನ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬಹುದು ನಾವಂತ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸಸ್ ನ. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರೇ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟಿವ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆನೂ ಕೂಡ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಬೇರೆ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅರ್ಥ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ 2022 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾರು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ. ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಈ ತರ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಆರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ಡಿಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಇಂಥ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಇದ್ರೆ ದೇರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಬಿ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್
ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್.
Ministry of Social Justice. Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Okay. So this Namaste scheme is undertaken by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Not only that, Ministry of Urban Affairs. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. So it's a jointly undertaken by these two ministries. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and Ministry of Social Justice. So main aim ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು ಇದು ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ದು? ಈ ಅನ್ಸೇಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸಸ್ ಏನ್ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸಸ್ ಏನ್ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ, ಅದು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಬ್ಯಾನ್ ಇದೆ ಲಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರಾಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಇರಾಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ರೈಟ್, ದಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಮೇನ್ ಏಮ್. ಮೇನ್ ಏಮ್ ಏನು? ಟು ಇರಾಡಿಕೇಟ್ unsafe sewer and septic cleaning practices. Main aim of this is to eradicate. ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ಇದು? Online students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. To eradicate unsafe sewer and septic tank cleaning processes. Because many people are dying through who are undertaking these cleaning activities.
Sir, Kerala-dalli, like they have launched robotic scavengers, sir. It is the first state. It is called as Bandicoot.
Yeah, I heard of it. Bandicoot, right? What is that? Spell it.
Bandicoot.
Bandicoot, okay. Yeah, it's a robotic machine. This Bandicoot or Bandicoot or Bandicoot. How do you pronounce it? Huh? Bandicoot, yeah. So this Bandicoot's robots, Bandicoot robots, they are specialized for this, yeah, cleaning sewers and septic tanks. So such technology should be utilized, right? Indeed, Namaste scheme allo, they are trying to give these PP kits, loans, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಈ ಕಿಟ್ಸ್ ನ ತಗೊಳಕ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡೀಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಈ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ದೋಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಲೀನಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಈ ಕಿಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಕ್ಲೀನಿಂಗ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ವಿಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಕ್ಲೀನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿ ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿಸ್ ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್. I mean, yeah, subsidies for purchasing this equipments for mechanized cleaning. And under this scheme, one more thing, there's this sewer or septic tank workers ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆಯುಷ್ಮಾನ್ ಭಾರತ್ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಜನೌಷಧಿ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಯೋಜನಾ ಅಂಡರಲ್ಲೂ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ being recognized there also for insurance. Okay, so under this scheme you can write one more line, extending health insurance schemes to the septic and sewer workers, septic and sewer cleaning workers, extending health insurance to septic and sewer workers through Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana or under Ayushman Bharat Yojana anta kuda short agi baradru, that's fine. And under the scheme they're also training, they can also train as to how to use those equipments. Okay, what is the standard practice to clean the sewers, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ training, occupational training ಅಂತ ಕಲಿತೀವಲ್ವಾ, so training ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ under this. So you can add one more line, providing occupational training. So training and subsidy for purchase, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ದಿದಾರಲ್ವಾ, subsidy for purchasing equipments or PPE kits ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ, PPE kits, personal protection equipment, PPE kits, etc. And insurance facility ಕೂಡ extend ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So this is one important scheme related for this septic clean workers. Okay, introduced in 2022. And earlier ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, this manual scavenging is banned in India under which act? ಯಾವ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? Prohibition of employment as same ಹಂಗೆ ಹೆಸರಿದೆ. So it's very important act for to ban or to prevent or to completely eradicate this employment, called act as the prohibition of employment as manual scavengers. You can go through it afterwards. The prohibition of employment as manual scavengers and their rehabilitation. Prohibition of employment as manual scavengers and their rehabilitation act 2013. Prohibition of employment as manual scavengers and their rehabilitation act 2013. So the act ಬಗ್ಗೆ you can make further research. And there is one corporation called National Safai Karmachari Finance and Development Corporation. So it's like implementing body, okay, under Ministry of this Social Justice only. This scheme will also like finally implemented by that agency itself, called National Safai Karmacharis Finance and Development Corporation. Very important. You can ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು. National Safai Karmacharis Finance and Development Corporation. National Safai Karmacharis Finance and Development Corporation. So, okay, so these are the things that we have discussed today. Hope all of you have understood, starting from classical languages. Tell me, what are the things that you have discussed? Again, we have started from classical languages, right? So 5 languages have been added. Which are they? Marathi, Assamese, Bengali, Pali, and Prakrit. Okay, so some details of these languages also we have done, and the criteria on the basis of which classical languages are selected, that also we have discussed, correct? So 4 important criteria we have understood. Then all the classical languages of India, there are 11, right? All 11 you should remember. So adbito next we have discussed about this golden langur. It's endemic to Western Assam and Bhutan and India, right? So one, that what is that wildlife sanctuary? Chakrashila, right? Chakrashila Wildlife Sanctuary and Manas National Park. Yeah. Huh? That's also famous for golden langur. Okay, you can. What is that? Spell it. Chakrasila is one. Spell it. Kakoi, right? Kakoi? Okay. Kakoi is a reserve forest. So this is also a habitat for, you can add this one also if you want. It's a new sanctuary, wildlife sanctuary, is it? For golden langur only. Yeah, remember this also then. Kakoi Reserve Forest. Even this forest is also home to, is also famous for golden langur. Okay.
ಸರ್ ಇದು ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ ಅದು ಮನ್ರೇಗಾ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹತ್ರ ಇದು ಲೈಕ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಚುರಿ ಬಿಕಾಸ್
Okay.
ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಲಂಗೂರ್.
Yeah, then it's famous. You can remember it. Yeah. Even this is home to golden langur. So they're trying to convert it to what? Wildlife sanctuary. Okay, fine. And wildlife sanctuary andre you know that it targets specific species, right? Wildlife sanctuary ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ನ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಚುರಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಕೋಯಿ ಜಾನ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೀಂಗ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸಿ ಆಫ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಲಂಗೂರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್? Chagos Archipelago, we can go through the mapping again. Diego Garcia, Mauritius, and remaining islands. Then BIS and this National Agriculture Code. Then last topic,